Number 10. Bubonic plague. The bubonic plague, also known as the Black Death, spread across Europe from east to west during the 14th century. The Yersinia pestis bacterium was responsible for the epidemic and used oriental rat fleas as its intermediary in reaching the human population. Rats, which carried infected fleas, traveled west on the Silk Road and on ships across the Mediterranean. Number 9. Smallpox. When Europeans first arrived in the New World during the late 15th and early 16th centuries, they used advanced military techniques to conquer North and South America with haste. But they also brought smallpox, which played an instrumental role in killing Native Americans. Number 8. Spanish influenza. The 1918 flu pandemic was caused by one of the deadliest 20th century pathogens, infecting 500 million individuals worldwide. Outbreaks in the United States and Europe soon spread around the world. Number 7. Polio. Today, polio is exceedingly rare, with relatively few cases in the industrialized world since Jonas Salk developed a polio vaccine. Prior to the creation of a vaccine, polio was easily transmitted in an infected individual's stool or via droplets when he sneezed. Number 6. Syphilis. There are 4 stages of syphilis, a sexually transmitted disease that first appears with a benign chancre at the spot of infection. Secondary syphilis presents with a widespread rash and swollen lymph nodes. The bacteria then enters a latent stage before surfacing as tertiary syphilis, which leads to neuromuscular degeneration, blindness, and dementia. Number 5. HIV. AIDS. Few diseases have carried the stigma of human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, which transforms into acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, AIDS. Scientists believe that the virus crossed over from primates to humans in Africa during the early 20th century. Yet the disease didn't gain traction in popular culture until the early 1980s when several gay men in New York and California exhibited strange cases of pneumonia and cancer. Number 4. Tuberculosis. Tuberculosis, TB, is a deadly respiratory infection that can take 2 forms, latent TB and active TB. Latent TB isn't contagious, and one's immune system can often fight it off. In fact, 1/3 of the world's population has latent TB. Number 3. Malaria. Malaria is a mosquito-borne disease caused by parasites that leave those infected with flu-like symptoms. Malaria remains one of the world's most serious killers, infecting more than 200 million in 2016 and killing almost 500,000. Number 2. Ebola. Few diseases have fueled hysteria quite like Ebola, which was only discovered in Africa in the late 1970s. Ebola, short for Ebola hemorrhagic fever, EHF, is a virus that leads to extreme bleeding in humans and other primates. Symptoms can take several days to weeks to develop. They include sore throat, muscular pain, vomiting, diarrhea, and eventual internal and external bleeding. Number 1. Cholera. At its worst, cholera can go from asymptomatic to fatal in just under 3 hours. Cholera is a diarrheal disease caused by a bacterium that is usually spread through water or food systems that lack proper sanitation. Although the roots of the disease were in the Ganges Delta in India, cholera has since spread across the planet. There have been pandemics in South Asia, 1961, Africa, 1971, and the Americas, 1991.